always sing while I was dancing.
Wow.
And the teachers would be like, don't move your mouth, just dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe, I think singing for me is where it really hits me everywhere in my body when I do it.
Yeah.
You know.
What about, did any of your parents sing or any musicians in the family or?
My mom was a professional cheerleader. So technically she was a dancer, but nobody in my family knows how to sing or do instruments or anything.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it was funny because everybody asks me all the time, like, you know, do your parents play or, and my mom tells me I was like climbing on the piano when I was about 3 or 4 years old, but I remember like taking lessons from probably like 7 years old. I started playing the piano.
Wow.
So it's really interesting, you know, it's like some of our friends, you know, it's like they grew up in musical families, and some of us just didn't, and it's interesting, like what makes us dive into it. But why don't we? We were gonna do some songs today, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so honored to play with you a couple of your songs. We can have you sing on a couple of my songs. So. Do you have a favorite you ever wrote? Like, is that one of them we're gonna do today, or?
Yeah, I would love to do "Lovesick Wonder." Is one of my favorite
Yeah,
songs because
yeah.
I remember when I wrote it, it literally just poured out of me. I wrote it in like 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just the lyric or both? Like it just.
Both.
Wow.
It occurred to me when I was in the shower.
Yeah.
And then after I was done, I quickly came out and I just wrote it down, and I was like, okay, I got it, done.
And you knew it was.
Yeah, I knew I liked it. I knew it had a great beat to it. I could hear and see people dancing to it in the car or you know, wherever. So.
Yeah. Cool. Let's do it, Rhianna.
Please.
So, Lovesick Wonder, ladies and gentlemen. While everything falls on the floor here. And this is our typical Jan live production technique. Stuff is falling all over the place.
I love when it's live.
I'm gonna just make sure I got the right tempo. I think I put it right here. Yeah.
I actually got some info from Leo, thank God. Turns out the sound was off until I just did that there, fiddling around the thing. So I might want to reintroduce Rhianna real quick. You got most of the story, but
Take 3.
still we don't know. Well,
Wow. So, thank you, Leo.
Thanks, Leo.
Good Lord.
So,
I'm just gonna pretend like I'm sitting.
do you remember? Oh yeah, let's get the chair back, Rhianna.
Thank you.
Well, does anybody remember where we got to before that happened? Was it? Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of Jan Live. This
Never a dull moment.
never a dull moment, and I can tell you. Can I just say something real quick, Rhianna? Last week we had to stop live streaming, and here's the culprit. This is a jetpack. So this studio doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I went and got a jetpack, which is a mobile Wi-Fi system, and it just stopped working last Tuesday. So it's no, I'm putting it here today, so you can kind of bless it with the good luck charms. And but it's no surprise to me that the sound wasn't on, so we apologize. But we'll quickly. I want to reintroduce Rhianna. First of all, this is Jan Live, episode 5, without sound and with sound, and we're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm here with my trusted compadre, Danny Macaron behind the soundboard. But today, I'm really excited that I'm going to introduce to you Rhianna Radick right here, my dear friend. And if this happened before the sound came on, let's just get a quick introduction into what you do and where you come from.
So I'm from Pennsylvania. I've been in New York City for about 6 years now. I'm a singer, actress, dancer, model, songwriter, all of those things.
You do all of it, but singing is your favorite, is where we ended up. All right, so we kind of caught you guys up, and that might have looked really good before, but now you know what we were talking about and smiling about. So let's get back to what we were about to do, which is we're going to do a couple of Rhianna songs today, and we're going to do a couple of my songs, and we're going to go back and forth and talk a little bit about them. And we're going to do a song called Lovesick Wonder, which is Rhianna's favorite song. For now, I'm sure she's going to write a lot of more songs, and she'll have favorite ones. I'm sorry to get right in your face, guys. I'm just going to get 2, 3, 4. There we go. get an idea of the tempo.
All right, how is this for everyone?
Can you guys see? Give us some thumbs up in the comment if everything in the comments. If you can hear and see us, that would be great.
All right. Let's go into it.
All right, Rhianna. So 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'm just a lovesick wonder. I'm just a lovesick wonder. I want a man I can call my own. I've been praying for someone to come along. I must admit the bar is set pretty high, but if you're my type, I'm gonna rock you all night. Don't you know it, boy, you're driving me crazy. What will it take to get you home with me? Lord knows I love a chase. Gotta work up the courage to talk to him casually. But you can't help what you feel, who you are. I can't help, I'm just a lovesick wonder, looking for the right guy to take me higher, light my fire. Can you be my knight in shining armor tonight? I'm just a lovesick wonder, feeling so right. Some people spend all their lives looking for a love they can't deny. I refuse to sit back and watch my life go by. But you can't help what you feel, who you are. I can't help, I'm just a lovesick wonder, looking for the right guy to take me higher, light my fire. Can you be my knight in shining armor tonight? I'm just a lovesick wonder, feeling so right. I've been trying to take my time, prioritize. You can't hurry love or rush time. Second guess what God's real plan is. I'll be a good girl in the meantime. I can't help, I'm just a lovesick wonder, looking for the right guy to take me higher, light my fire. Can you be my knight in shining armor tonight? I'm just a lovesick wonder, looking for the right guy to take me higher, light my fire. Can you be my knight in shining armor tonight? I'm just a lovesick wonder, feeling so right. Woo!
Yeah, Rhianna. Cool, man. Cool. Well, should we get the chair back or doing? Yeah, let's talk a little bit. So, cool. You know, while you get comfortable there, in terms of style, I have a clear idea of what I would call it. What do you call your style of music?
Country pop?
Yeah.
Pop country.
Yeah. That's kind of what I get, country pop or yeah, sort of like crossover a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, do you have a favorite artist in that world, or did you just grow up with that style of music, or?
No, actually, I grew up writing pop.
Yeah.
And then when I really started taking songwriting seriously, which was I was in high school,
yeah.
I was really heavily influenced by country.
Uh-huh.
And then I think that just kind of just blended perfectly together.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, Taylor Swift was just coming on the scene.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, this is definitely something that I could see myself doing. It's not dying out, or anything. So
yeah.
it just kind of happened.
Yeah,
organically.
Cool. Yeah, it's funny because I had a project with my wife back in, let's say, early 2000s, a crossover country project too called JJ and the Foreign Cowboys, and I kind of got into writing that style of music, and I've loved it because to me it's there's so much space in that music for, first of all, lyric writing, and second of all, there's a lot of playing. It's not just program parts. You know, when we go out and do some of these shows with cover bands and stuff, some of the new music, you're really just, you know, doing, you know, stuff like that. But this is like, you can really dig in, and that's what I love about that genre.
I also wanted to ask you that question, is sometimes, especially for pop, the songs are very, like, just 3 chords sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you ever space out and, like, think about, like, doing laundry or, like, what you're going to eat afterwards while you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's something, I heard that Mick Jagger, not to compare myself, but he even thinks about his dry cleaning at the hotel when they are with the Rolling Stones. Have you heard that? There's a story out there, an interview, I believe, where, and he was serious, and for me, yes, of course it happens. We're all human, and when people have this romantic idea about musicians that, it must be so great to be a musician, yes, it is, but it's certainly, you bring your humanity to that situation, and a lot of times for me, I'll lose focus, but I'll always try to be in the moment. And it's funny, the more I do this, the longer my career is as a musician, the more I find that as something that's really important. Not just to be a professional, because, like, you know, you don't do a good job if you sort of like just dreaming, you know. But it's a really it's something I challenge myself to do as much as possible. But you're right. But it's not so much about the 3 chords necessarily, because, like,
just songs you do every time in general.
Sure. But I think it's our one of our, and I love that you also really are into, just in general, like, what constitutes a great life. Let's just put the music aside, but as a human being, you're very much into, like, discovering the power of the mind, like all, you know. I happen to give Rhianna rides sometimes, you know, when we're at the same gig, and we have these great talks with, you know, in the car, and I know that you're really into exploring those areas of life, and that has to do with, like, being in the moment, right?
Oh, yes.
So if you just, you know, you can't just isolate music and say that that's not part of that. That's part of the same, I feel like, you know, ability to be in the moment.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were saying, like, if you're, even, like, when things are going right in your life or things aren't going right, does that affect my music or my performing? Yeah. And I said, absolutely, it affects everything. So, like, if you're healthy, you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, that will enhance your music or your acting or whatever. Yeah. If you're going through some stuff and you're eating a lot of cookies and not vegetables or protein or something like that, that will eventually make its way into your work. Yeah. Sometimes you can make it work for you, and it'll be just like a real raw, maybe tragic song or something, but it all is a circle. Yeah, cool.
I totally agree with you, and this whole thing about, like, the suffering artist, I you know, it's something. You know, I don't know, I had to look at and decide that didn't work for me. Like, I think when I moved to New York, I went through a phase where it was, like, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and oh yeah, that's how you become a rock star. But it's almost like you picked the wrong side of it. You picked the shell of it that might not even be true, you know. You know, like, you know, you think Keith Richards is this guy who's, like, constantly drunk, but I hear that he's actually really healthy now, and he's just using that image to have an edge and sort of, like, you know, and personality, but it doesn't necessarily, for the rest of us, you know, if we grab onto that and think, oh, that's how you become famous, we might, first of all, not know the truth about him, but also sort of, like, grab the animal at the tail end.
Yeah. I also think that's an illusion too. I mean, part of our job is being entertaining. Yeah. And so it's making the audience like, oh, look at me, you know, I'm always drinking, always happy, always partying, always doing drugs. I'm cool. Yeah. And I think there was so much more going on. I don't think that was. Yeah. That was just his life.
Cool. Well, we should do some more music, I think. So. I think I want to do Breaking Through now, because it fits what we're talking about. Breaking Through is something, it's a new song that For you guys that have seen the previous episodes, this is a brand new song. It's not brand new in the sense that I just wrote it, but I just haven't performed it. I haven't released it. I haven't recorded it. So today is the first time I'm going to play it, and I wrote it about 2 years ago when I decided to finally do my own thing. And release my own music after all these years being co-writer, co-producer, like finally mustering up the courage to say, listen, you know, I've been dreaming about this for many years and I've just been afraid of it. That's basically fear, you know. And so I went into some soul searching at, you know, podcasts, books, and just do it. And one time one of the things I'm doing is I'm walking around up here in upstate Manhattan, as we call it, Inwood Hill Park and Fort Tryon up here. I walk through every day and I exercise and all that stuff. And it really changed me. And it's just, you know, it's not a cliche like exercise is good for you. But anyway, so this was a spring day and I felt like, wow, it's going to happen now. I'm going to do it. And I see the buds on the trees, you know, like they were just barely breaking out. And I was like, whoa, there's something innate in the cycle of nature and in nature that, you know, it's not necessarily words or thoughts. It's just like this thing, maybe even more complex and more at a higher level. That's just a basic truth that the only thing the bud thinks about is to move out and become a leaf or a flower, whatever.
And it doesn't second guess itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't say like, where's my journey going? And
what's my brand like?
Exactly.
It's like, am I gonna be the alcoholic? It's just about getting out there and becoming, right? And in that moment, I was like, wow, I connect to this. And that's where the idea came from. Breaking through, my English is actually not good enough to know if that works with a bud, but it's the breaking through the fear and the walls that we put around ourselves. So that's what that song is about. It's very simple. It's like when you hear the words and stuff, there's nothing like deeply wisdomy about it. It's just basically tapping into that simple energy of breaking through. So let me just, sorry guys, I'm gonna get into your heads again. Do you want to stand or sit, Rhianna? Do you want
I'll
to
sit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry guys. All right, just for you guys, what I'm doing is what do you got, Danny?
Unauthorized noise.
Okay.
Noise. I don't know what that was.
We got aliens, ladies and gentlemen.
Gone now though.
Alien collusion.
It's that
one of those
type
days.
of movie.
I just want to explain, like, I have click tracks on the computer that really helps to remind you of the tempo of the song. What happens is you get nervous, like I'm nervous now, I have to admit it, like look at this beautiful person right here. So, and also the live streaming. And so what happens is your pulse speeds up and everything relatively starts speeding up, and that means you'll play a song much faster than you really want it to be. So it's good to have a little click to remind you of where it is, and I think I found it. I think I remember.
And breathe.
And Rhianna's going to sing back up on this. I'm so honored. This is the first performance, Rhianna.
I'm so excited.
Gazing at the stars with the sadness in your eyes. Heard you whisper there should be so much more to this life. And I can tell you got dreams all locked up inside, impatiently pushing to get out in the light. So drop everything and run with me under the blue. Let's go out and feel the power of the sun breaking through. We'll sing into the sky, there's nothing we can do, 'cause the season is turning, and it's turning in you. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through. Ooh, 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 ooh. voice has been ringing through your head all these years, weighing you down in a mountain of fear, whose voice has been bringing you to cry so many tears you don't have to listen anymore. I'll be the voice that you hear. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through. Gazing at the stars with the sadness in your eyes. This time you're breaking through, you're breaking through, we're breaking through. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through. This time we're breaking through, we're breaking through, we're breaking through.
Isn't it such a great song?
Thank you.
I really like it too because it can be whatever you want it to be. Like yours is specifically about breaking through in this business. But for one of your listeners, it could be them breaking through in terms of following their heart and not going to law school and doing music or something. You know, it could mean anything.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you think so. And you sounded fantastic. You're gonna have to come back every Tuesday.
I'll come back. You have to invite me though, because I don't know if how we're.
I just did. Let's keep moving with the music. What's the next one you're gonna do?
So the next one I'm gonna do is called "Mission Back Home." This was a song I wrote when I was 16 years old, and I just love it. It's about. I was afraid to go to college back then because I didn't know if I wanted to do music and go to Nashville or California or even New York. And my parents were like, you have to get a degree. They're like, we'll support you in following your dreams, but you still have to have that piece of paper that, you know, you can get a basic job sometimes. And so I went to school for musical theater, but in this was about what would college be like? Because I was 16, I didn't know. And I thought about, I kind of used my imagination, like what would it be like if I was away from my home and my family, which is incredible and so supportive, and how far away would I be, and what would that journey be like of being on my own for the first time. And I think everybody kind of goes through that, whether it's through college or even just moving away and going to the city, is finding out who you are by yourself without that support system.
And so this song came around and deals with that.
Yes.
Cool. I love it.
And you'll get to know my family a little bit, so
cool.
Shout out to Nana and Pop-Up if you're watching.
Oh, can I ask you, how autobiography, what do you call it, Rhianna?
Autobiography?
Yeah, like how autobiography is your song? Like,
this song is about my family.
And names even? Like are the name?
Wow. Yep, like I call my Nana Nana, she's not grandma or Mimi or anything, and my Pop-Up is my Papa.
Yeah.
So like one of the things that the reason why I like this song, or I love this song, and it's probably stood the test of time since I was 16 in my heart, is because it's so true. Like this is my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah.
So if you like it, that's great. You get to know me, you get to know my family, and kind of what I was going through.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like a warning, like a songwriter, I forget where I saw it, he had a t-shirt on, he said, you know, don't get too close to me because you'll end up in one of my songs. And
good.
Or maybe it was a dream I had. But it's a cool, right? So at that time I was like,
But we should be doing that though, all of us.
Yeah.
We should be incorporating because that's the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, art is about the truth. And
Yeah,
if
sure.
people aren't connecting to it, there's all those universal truths that we all are.
But I do find myself at times just being like, okay, am I revealing a little too much about somebody else? You know, but in this case, it's really your emotions, and I'm sure they're proud of it. So let's do it.
So.
Let me get the tempo.
I'm gonna sit for this one.
I got the tempo. Duck, 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 duck. All right, ready, Rhianna?
How's this mic placement, Danny?
I'm taking it. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Danny Mac.
I guess the setting was a little too big. I miss the laughter of our Sunday night dinners. And yes, Nana, I am worshiping daily. I can't wait to see your glowing smiles next week. My cousin Eric's got his baby black Mustang. My brother John is moving like the wind. And you could say I'm Pop-Up's little angel. My mom and dad could wish for nothing more for me. So I am taking this toll on a one-way street, 'cause I'm going to find what I truly need. And don't keep me waiting for so long, 'cause I'm going on a mission back home. Now don't just say that I am taking the easy way out, 'cause this is what I want. I hear the door as I pull into the driveway. I'm starting over, I just couldn't be alone. 'Cause I am taking this toll on a one-way street, 'cause I'm going to find what I truly need. And don't keep me waiting for so long, 'cause I'm going on a mission back home. I know I've got to go, I lost my sense of self. I know my grandma's waiting up for me. My room still looks the same, it's small, I can't complain. Here I go, ready, set, take two. 'Cause I am taking this toll on a one-way street, 'cause I'm going to find what I truly need. And don't keep me waiting for so long, 'cause I'm going on a mission back home. 'Cause I am taking this toll on a one-way street, 'cause I'm going to find what I truly need. And don't keep me waiting for so long, 'cause I'm going on a mission, going on a mission, oh.
Wow, I love that song. I love that song.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very interesting too, because my grandma actually passed away last year.
Oh man.
So when I sing that lyric, it's almost like, you know, she's waiting up for me, as in like she's in heaven now.
Wow.
But I like that though, because it gets real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were rehearsing Saturday, which is 1, 2, 3 days ago. And I was gonna do some footage, right? So we could do a teaser and all that stuff. But Rhianna showed up, and I showed up. So it was just like a mess. We had napkins everywhere, and everybody was sick. But I remember you looked at me after we practiced that song, and I remember you were like, "Oh man, it got to me, and now I understand even better." Mm-hmm. So kudos, writing something so close to the heart, and as a professional musician, I hear a great talent in you to create melodies. So like, you know, when the chorus comes around, you sing it right away, and everybody uses that. Oh, you got to write a chorus that people can sing, and So it's just true. Like if you can write something that you can hum right out of the room, it means that you nailed an expression. Like and I just want to tell you that.
Thank you.
That's what I hear, like a great sense of creating hooks, which is a gift of music. So I think it's so fun to be here that we're like running way later than we usually do. So this jetpack might start crapping out soon, and I want to get my last song in there.
Yes, let's get yours in.
So let's just do that, and then we'll say goodbye. But hey, Rhianna, it's been such a pleasure, man, girl.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This is so fun. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
we'll send them off with one of your good tunes.
well, it's funny because I just realized when you were talking. I also come from I come from Denmark, so a lot of my life deals with the distance of being away from family. And America is so big that it happens for Americans a lot, right? Because you born one place and you end up working in San Francisco. So it's not just an immigration kind of thing. It's really a global thing that there's something called distance when there's distance, and then you have to deal with that. And this song is not so much about distance, but it just happened that I played it on one of my first episodes, and my brother wrote a comment. It's like, Jan, that's my favorite new song. And so now it's going to be special forever for me because, I see my family like probably once a year. I go home with my wife and we see them over there. So, and, hoping to make it more, sell a lot of records and be able to travel more and
on
stuff.
Your private jet plane.
There you go, with a jacuzzi in it and Danny Mac playing songs from behind the mixer. But so that bond back home and so complex. I'm not going to get into it, but just a little detail. The song more in itself is more about what happens sometimes when one of you. It happened to me. I was watching my wife one day sitting in the living room, right? Mm-hmm. And I think she just kind of spaced off and forgot about me and forgot about our two cats, and maybe the TV was on. She forgot about it, but she got this look in her eyes. I'm like, wow, we all have this world that's completely our own, and I've been with her for years and years, but there's still a part of her that I might not know, and I might not ever know, but hopefully I will know. But it's that moment where you see a person like really in some way frail, because they're not, their operating system is not functioning like, oh, I'm this person and this is what I'm doing right now. You're just kind of like dreaming, and I love that. And this song, so I took that moment and I turned it into this song about like somebody who is around a person they're fascinated by. It could be at work, at school, and they I hope it doesn't come across as the singer's like a stalker, but it's like he just loves like every time he gets a little glimpse of her dreaming, where she's not the office girl or the school girl, but where she's herself completely, So that's what this song is about. It's called I'll Ask You Out, and I'm gonna get right in you guys' face one last time, I promise.
And that's the thing too, is we're all complex human beings.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know my parents who've been married for like 30 years, and my mom will say, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's correct. All right, Rhianna. So let's see. Well, I'm sorry if I stare too much. My fascination with you simply won't let up. And I just love the little things you do when you think no one else is watching you. When you focus, you talk to yourself. If you get nervous, you rearrange your desk. Your eyes start drifting in the afternoon. When you say goodbye, you look down at your shoes. When you say goodbye, you look down at your shoes. And I just love to catch you off guard and get another glimpse of who you really are. I would die to know the world you never share, 'cause you think no one else around you even cares. Are you living out your perfect plan? Or are you hanging on the best that you can? Are you happy being on your own? Or is there someone special in your dreams and hopes? There's so much about you I wanna know. I'm looking for ways to conquer my mind and not to nourish my fear and doubt. So one of these days the stars will align. I'll find the courage to ask you out. Are you living out your perfect plan? Or are you hanging on the best that you can? Are you happy being on your own? Or is there someone special in your dreams and hopes? Could I fit in to your dreams and hopes? I'm looking for ways to conquer my mind, not to nourish my fear and doubt. So one of these days the stars will align. I'll find the courage to ask you out. I'm looking for ways to conquer my mind and not to nourish my fear and doubt. So one of these days the stars will align. I'll find the courage to ask you out. And I'll ask you out. Yay! Thanks, Rhianna. You made that song good.
I like that song too. I mean, I like all of your songs.
Oh, thanks. Thank
But
you. I
I
like
can-
yours.
I just think that's it. Just reminds me of a nice wedding, like a beautiful wedding melody. At least the introduction, you know.
Cool.
Like,
Cool. There we go. Well, Rhianna, I think we might have to say goodbye to our
no.
all our faithful listeners. I just want to tell you guys it's been such a pleasure to have a guest here today, because usually I sit here and mumble and fumble my way through 20 minutes of music, and Dan is great, but you know he can't completely save me. But you have pretty much elevated today. I really appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for having me. I've
Yeah.
never done one of these before, and it was so much fun.
Well, can I have you back sometime?
Of course.
All right, so let's write some new songs and get to it. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. This was Jan Live, episode 5. We are here, Dan and I are here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. at Lissamore Studio, which is in New York City, all the way up at the tippy top of Manhattan. And we'll be back again next week. And for sure tonight has reaffirmed that I want more guests in here, because we're all doing the same thing as musicians. We're bringing this thing called music into the world, and we are not competitors. We don't compete with each other. We are actually brothers and sisters, and that's something I'm also learning now. It's like we can't be afraid of each other. We are doing the same thing. We have this gift, and we're bringing it, and the more we can do and help each other do that, the better, I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially too, once you look at someone as your competitor, now you're bringing this negative energy or
Yeah.
tension.
That's a big one. Well, listen, everybody, go out in the world and be your best self. We'll see you next time.